In an update as dense as Scrappy Scavengers here, many tweaks go unnoticed, with several others just finding themselves underappreciated to boot. And seeing as how I put the bulk of these quality of life additions at the end of that video, I wouldn't be surprised to hear that some of these are being seen for the very first time. So then, let's change that. And we begin with a whole mess of acidic rain and its impact on the caves. Acid rain now targets 9 separate creatures down here, and it does so through buffs and debuffs alike. Here we see a ruined clockwork dealing 34 damage a blast over the original 40, but what I didn't mention in the other video was how bunnymen also get weaker as well. Not only that though, some mobs even take slightly more damage during acid rain themselves, as you can see. It's pretty neat, albeit a bit broken currently, as Clay literally spelled the names of certain attributes wrong within the code. But baby tentacles will grow weaker with larger ones packing more of a punch. Depth worms receive some of the same treatment, but also start to take more damage themselves due to their berserker mechanic. Blue monkeys and spiders should be changed as well, however it's not all properly implemented yet. And lastly, even Fugu Hutch sees a damage increase and more protection overall. To continue though, we have scored a new way to interact with acid rain ourselves through the slimy salve, and while we already know how it will prevent the effects of the stuff for half a day, may I remind you that it also neutralizes slurtles? Smear some of this crap on ya, and your inventory minerals will be safe from any plundering for the duration as well. It's quite the side effect, but we'll take it. Just like how we'll take being completely safe from this radioactive storm while running about in the Lunar Grotto or the Ancient Archive. But you know what we're not safe from anymore? Basilisks. For you see, with acid rain active and at least 10 niter within the inventory, you will be warned of the impending danger a minute before a wave of 4 acid bats attack. And this will continue forever, just as long as the requirements are met, no matter where you are in the cave's mind. And yet we are still not done, as acid rain is also here to spoil some shroomy fun, so just be aware that we will soon be seeing mush trees dropping spoiled mushrooms in acid rain as well, and that if none of what you've just seen or heard intrigues you in any way, you can just turn acid rain off at will if you please. Don't look up. No, seriously, chances are you don't even have to look up from what you're doing and just listen to this next bit, as even I don't understand what these next 2 additions are for. The Lunar Fun Cap is available at any Celestial tab, and somehow doesn't use the blue Fun Cap in its craft, but that's besides the point, as this craft actually starts producing its own lunar spores every 2 seconds. Lunar spores that the wearer will be immune to, mind, so take advantage of that for sure. And given that they're quote-unquote infinite, bear in mind their additional uses, like providing light or damaging nearby mobs. In fact, if hit with the cap on your noggin, more lunar spores will spawn, so be aware of that. Also be mindful of the fact that it is still a fun cap, so any perishables within your inventory will spoil faster if you wear one. Have fun. But here's the one that makes 0 sense to me: the stuffed nightcap. It is a fresh food made from more moon shrooms, as you can see, that renders anything that eats it asleep for 20 seconds. So okay, but why? Who on earth is gonna use such a thing? I don't know, but here's some information that I didn't let you know in guide number 1. Any Moonstorm event following the death of the Celestial Champion will begin the very first time we find Wagstaff in the storm. Find him and follow him but one time and you will be right smack dab in the middle of it, which is great. But when Clay also goes and makes it to where we only need 1 restrained static per siphonator now, the whole event that's been established in the game for years at this point, it just gets thrown out of whack. And why it makes scrap so important all of a sudden? It's still feeling like you're just forcing things into story arcs that you don't even know what you're doing with Clay. But you know what else Clay attempted to force to no avail? Better Celestial Orb RNG. Technically, every friendship level with Pearl and completed Celestial Altars are supposed to increase the odds of seeing one, but that still doesn't actually account for meteor showers themselves dropping a moon rock boulder but a mere 15% of the time, let alone the actual suspicious one. So yeah, no. It's about time to practically guarantee this thing, I feel. But since we're on the RNG topic, did we really need to go and hide the chest expanding blueprint within random endgame set pieces that already dropped 3 additional blueprints themselves? Furthermore, did the craft itself have to be this damn expensive at the end of the day? And that's just for one quote-unquote infinite storage chest, everyone. I'm truly not sure how many mega bases are even even going to be making use of these to their fullest in all honesty, but still, have fun. As we've reached the inevitable rapid fire round once again, folks, so take notes. Broken shells themselves now stacked to 40 overall. Shell bells now have a 30% chance to drop 2 broken shells each hammering. Pearl's shell bell bundle now drops a whopping 8 shells per bottle over the original 4. She will sell 3 fish food per single bottle as well if you care. Her sawhorse crafting station can turn 4 logs into 1 board, or 20 into 5 at will, which is cool. Cookie cutters will drop a second cookie cutter shell 25% of the time moving forward. Rock jaws will start dropping 1 and 2 barnacles, rocks, and flint. Seed shells now deal a respectable 59.5 damage a toss, which should not go underappreciated. Embalming spirits made of shadow plant kits via a not insignificant amount of unique materials will lock plant resources into their current states forever, preventing harvest, fires, bright shades, and more. Miasma spreads faster than ever if you don't burn the ray quick enough, so don't let it get out of hand. Both rift types are visible anywhere on the map via new indicators. Lunar hail could be toggled off at will. Rot washes away in about 30 seconds while in the rain. The Horizon Expandinator can now be deconstructed into scrap, wires, and doodads. We can slip on Panguil ice and frozen ponds, and speed does matter here. Using fire stats is now the secondary action to prevent any misclicks. We can hammer crispy skeletons near Dragonfly. We can open and use containers from within our inventories. Cave prompts return. Love is actually in the caves as a new set piece. Fossils are guaranteed to properly form the odd skeleton if we have the key and the heart active. Woebot exists in every junkyard now, and with an automatocanic in hand, it can be made to clean up messes and automatically store loot it's told to. And finally, scrap walls exist. Yup. We end with a bang, as there you have everyone. Every single quality of life tweak I can muster up about the Scrappy Scavengers update that is out now in beta form. More info to follow and probably subject to change, alongside a deeper dive into the Scrappy Werepick himself, so watch this space. Thanks for sticking around, well wishes to all, share what you have found, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.